Right. So just try to make it as participative as possible. So the objective of asking questions is not to, it's just to know what you know, so that accordingly we can structure things and move forward. SAP systems, application, product in data processing. It's basically a German product developed by 5 Germans. They were working in IBM. They started SAP. Now, before understanding what SAP is, let's understand the concept of ERP. What is ERP? What could ERP be? You know? That's okay. See,
Enterprise? Enterprise
for planning.
Okay.
Right. Enterprise refers to the organization, your business, your enterprise basically. Resource, all the resources of the organization.
Yeah.
Manpower, money, materials, machinery, basically all the artificial as well as natural resources of the organization. And planning what? What do we need to plan? We need to plan these resources. Every resource that has been listed out here is managed by a dedicated team. It has a dedicated department to plan. Manpower activities are managed by the HR department. Or in SAP we call it HCM, Human Capital Management. Money is being managed by finance, the accounting department. Materials is being managed by the procurement team. Purchases or procurement. Machinery is managed by the shop floor. Production we call it. Factory. So what I mean to say is every resource has a dedicated department to plan its activities. Now why do we need to plan? The next question. Why do we need to plan?
Pardon?
Why do we need to plan?
Before and done. In order to use, we have to use efficient usage of our resources.
Okay. Right. Let me put it this way. What is the purpose of an organization? Say you're running a business. Why do you run a business?
To make a profit.
That's all. That is your objective. Everything
That's the
else
objective.
comes. Yes. There is no bigger objective than running than profits. All your other activities, your philanthropic activities, your charity, everything comes later. If you're not making money year after year after year, you will shut down and walk away. Now, how do we get better profits year after year? Only if the management takes proper calls. The decision making is proper. Now, decisions cannot be taken just in thin air. It has to be backed by some data. We need data, information. Last 3 years, last 5 years, what is the results? Based on this, the management will do a comparative analysis and accordingly take decisions which will have a direct bearing on the results. Now, this data is stored in something called ERP. So ERP is a software solution which structures your data in a proper format so that you can pull out reports as and when you need. Say 40, 50 years back, we didn't have complex computer systems. We didn't have ERPs like we have today. All our accounting was primarily done on small systems or bookkeeping, manual ledgers. So retrieval of data was a cumbersome process. Today, at a few keystrokes, you can retrieve whatever data you want to. Okay? So it helps us in structuring our data properly and giving report whatever report we want, thereby leading to better profit. Now, there are lots of ERPs available in the market. We have uh, Oracle, Oracle apps, BAM, JD Edwards is a very famous.
What, Navision?
Sorry?
Is Navision also part of
Yes,
ERP?
yes.
Yeah, because I think some of the companies, they use also Navision.
Yes. Then Microsoft has its own product, Dynamics.
Okay.
Sage is very popular in the European countries, Finland, Scotland, Ireland, parts of UK. Sage is very famous. Sun, uh, Kali, a very, very small ERP primarily meant for accounting and stock inventory purpose. Uh, PeopleSoft, very user-friendly ERP, PeopleSoft. Siebel. But I believe PeopleSoft and Siebel have been purchased by Oracle. So, and all the three put together, today there's a separate ERP called, it's not an ERP, it's something called Project Fusion. Oracle runs its own different ERP. Apart from this, Oracle plus PeopleSoft plus Siebel is Project Fusion. So lots of ERPs are available. One such ERP on top comes SAP. I'm putting SAP on top because it's the number one ERP ever since it came into existence. SAP was started in 1972, and ever since then SAP has been the number one in the ERP market share. Okay. Right. Now, very important, most people want to know about what kind of career can I have in SAP. SAP has, I'm sorry, if things are getting too elementary or mundane, please tell me. I'll move forward to the next topic.
No, honestly, Ram, because I work in SAP, but I didn't go all through these details. I work that because, they have the SAP program where they do the finance and everything, and I never had a professional training. That's why it's not a primary one for me. I need to know all the background of SAP and ERP. Yeah, I'm very happy. Just go on.
No, because you said you work in SAP, I thought things might be...
I work in SAP, but I didn't get a professional training. I didn't have FICO certification, but the company, because the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade, they use that one, the Department of Foreign. So they have specialized SAP things, people, so they just train me on what daily basis I can use for invoicing, blah, 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 but I didn't have the real background. So that's really good to know.
All right, so I will go as I suppose as how I normally go.
So can I have access to this later on? Sorry, can I have access later on to what we are discussing, and this if I want to refer or just
you can get in touch with these people. I'm anyway recording this session.
Okay, yeah, so I can have that session. So if I want to
see here, the session is being recorded.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's good.
You can get in touch with these people.
Yeah. Yes, at least I can refer, I can go back and read
Yes,
and yeah, just
and
have
that's why
more.
your
Yeah.
classes will also be, all these sessions will be recorded and placed on a common drive, uh,
Okay, that's
where
good.
I'll be giving you the access, and you can download it to your computer.
Okay, that's good.
Right.
Great. Okay, go on. Go
Right.
ahead. Go
So
ahead.
you
Sorry.
can have no problem. So you can have two
Mm.
career in SAP. The choice of
Mm-hmm.
which to choose is left up to you. Different people have
Mm-hmm.
different ambitions. So
Mm-hmm.
one person is the end user, the other person is the consultant. I would recommend everybody go for a consulting role. Lots of
Yeah, yeah,
lots of money,
yes.
right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, when
So,
you work on consultant.
but it has its own downside, right?
Mm. Yeah.
So the end user is the person who does the daily activities. His activities does not change. Every day he goes at 9, comes back at 6. He does the same work, business transact.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm.
If he puts 10 journal
So the,
entries, he's going to post the same
mm.
day in, day out. His activities will not change.
So it's like me. Just I have to do daily, I have to raise invoice, I have to, yeah, I have to
Yes.
process accounts
Uh,
payable,
yeah.
accounts receivable,
Right.
whatever, and then yes.
So he does not know
No,
the what goes behind
yeah,
the thing. He does
the
not
screen, yeah.
understand the
Mm.
rationale behind why this activity is done in this manner,
Mm.
what
Mm.
settings have been done so that I'm
Yeah.
able to do this. For him, his activity should be completed. He has to finish his work.
Mm.
He doesn't care about anything else.
Whatever
That's it.
happens behind. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, sure.
But
Mm.
the job of a consultant is two-pronged.
Mm. Configuration.
Customization, whatever you call it. A consultant should also have the knowledge of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we saw this business transaction is nothing but the day-to-day
Mm-hmm.
activities of an end user. All right. So what
Mm-hmm.
can configuration be? Configuration or customization.
Mm-hmm.
What can this be? What do you think this can be?
Just you can, let's say, you customize a report based on the company's need.
All
So
right. Let's leave
maybe,
SAP for 2 minutes.
okay,
So just in pure generic sense, what can customization be?
customization different products,
Sorry?
different, to customize the different SAP products, to customize
Mm,
something
okay.
towards something to relate to some different companies. This company
Let's,
need, yeah,
yes, yes. It's basically designing something specific to
yeah,
your requirement.
special to, yes.
So let's understand this with simple example. I want to purchase a computer. I go to the market.
Mm.
My job is to, browse the internet. I want to watch some movies. I want to listen to songs, use
Mm.
Microsoft products, Excel, PowerPoint, Word. Uh, yeah, that's it. So the consultant, I'm an end user having such requirements.
Mm-hmm.
Now the consultant, who is the computer guy, he's going
Mm-hmm.
to ask me, so these are your requirements. I'll customize a
Mm-hmm.
computer according to your needs. A computer, he's going
Mm-hmm.
to put in RAM inside it. I would need about 4 GB
Mm.
RAM, um, uh,
Mm.
about 15-inch screen. Then it should have
Mm.
a processor, i3, i5, i7, whatever. Then
Mm.
uh, maybe I need to play games sometimes, so I need some graphics card,
Mm.
some Radeon graphics card. Um, it should have 1 TB hard disk. Uh, some chipsets, motherboard, what quality motherboard. So all these things the computer guy will customize according to my needs. And he's going to ready the system for me. Another example, some people are crazy about bikes, motorcycles. They go to the mechanic and they say, my handlebar should be of, such design. There should be some tattoos on the gas tank. There should, my wheelbase should be this thick. Shock absorbers should be some design, something unique to them. So this mechanic readies the bike for them, and then he delivers the bike to the user. So that is what is customization, configuration. Why should the consultant now have knowledge of business transactions? So in our current example, why should the mechanic do what the end user does? That's the question. Why should the mechanic? So the user's need would be, to be a racer, to race at, I don't know, 100 miles or something. Why should
if he doesn't have the know-how of that, then he cannot configure, he cannot do any configuration or customization.
Right. If I, as a consultant, if the mechanic doesn't do a test drive, how is he going to verify that the bike is in proper order?
Yeah, he doesn't have any clue.
He has to check if all the nuts and bolts and all those things, there is no sounds coming. He has to check that. Only then he can give a delivery. Similarly, coming back to SAP, the consultant understands, now let's stick to FI, finance. The finance consultant understands the requirements of the finance end user. He interacts with the finance end user. He's going to find out what happens in general ledger. He's going to find out what the end user does in accounts receivable, what activities are happening in accounts payable, what are the tax activities going on, how is asset accounting being managed. Okay, so all these things he's going to find out and accordingly design a system for the end user. Business transactions a consultant should know because of two reasons. Testing. Whatever entries the end user is going to post, he's going to post and check if the system is working, if the system is responding properly. If the system is going to throw any kind of error, then the consultant has done some mistake here. So he goes back, rectifies the configuration, comes back, rechecks till the time there is no error. Once he has checked that everything is working properly, general ledger, accounts receivable, accounts payable, bank, whatever process the organization is following as regards finance, then he's going to train the end user. Training the end user is important because the user would have been working on a certain legacy system. It can be maybe, let's say, Sage. He would have been working on Sage for the past 5-10 years. By this time, Sage would be in his blood. You wake him up in sleep, he's going to do magic in Sage. But SAP is a new system. The consultant has to train him. He's going to say, no more Sage now. You're going to work in SAP. I'm going to give you training in SAP. Also give documentation with screenshots so that you can refer in future also. So that's the job of the consultant. It's a lot more challenging. Every organization has its own requirements. For example, the process followed in Ford Motors will be different than that of which is followed in Jaguar. It will be different in different industry. Every industry has a different process followed. Food industry or SAP is used in every industry today. So it's unlike an end user. An end user will be trained for a maximum of 1 week or 10 days. The organization will be telling that these are the transaction codes you use. This is how it is done. A senior person will train him for a week or 10 days, and he will start using those activities day in, day out. Consultant's job is not more challenging. He has to interact with the user and find out the complete business process. Now, where you want to go, you have to decide. This guy has a lot more relaxed life.
I'm an end user. I'm an end user, so I need to, I need to go more for consultant, not because I'm end user. So I know, just I've been as end user for 9 years.
Oh my God!
Yes, 9. So for us, so just doing different things, which is almost 9 years. So.
So
it's time to do something different.
What transactions do you use, if I may ask?
F43, F49, F02.
Vendor invoice.
Yeah, XK03, just all invoicing and everything. Yeah, F44, FPL3, and all.
GL line item. Okay.
Yeah,
so
FPL1,
FPL. The end user can come back home. He can have a much more relaxed family life. No pressure. Pressure, as in the sense you'll have pressure during month end, during the year end, only for that.
Yeah, no, I have that whole pressure every end of month. Yeah. I have to run a report every end of month, and of course end of the financial year.
Yeah, of course. Year end would be a bit more interesting.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's pretty much relaxed if you compare with a consultant.
It's very
challenging. Extremely challenging.
Yeah.
My aim is not to scare you. Please don't mistake me.
I'm so scared. No. No, I don't have any ambition. My ambition to be as a consultant, just I have to find some other ambition now. No, because as an end user, I've been using it, as I told you, for 9 years, and I do the budgeting, and as I told, they customize how to run the report, our budget forecast, but actuals, and so all the things have been using it for 9 years. So I need to know what's behind, how these things work, why this work this way. So that's more for me, just to know more.
So for an end user to do that, the consultant has to do something at the back end, so that the end user, now F-43 you said. To do F-43, there is something to be done at the back end. This person does. What are those things? That is what is configuration.
Always the vendor.
Yes,
the vendor
account, the vendor detail. We need inventory GL, we need returns GL, we need bank GL.
We need taxi code, we need company code.
So yes, where do we create that? So many things which go behind understanding.
That's my ambition, to know all the things.
Yeah, that's great. And having a user's knowledge and user's knowledge is of great help, really.
Okay, thank you.
So, let's move ahead with our first topic. So, this is what our FI stands for finance.
Finance,
CO stands for controlling. In our accounting language, we call it cost accounting. Cost accounting is called as controlling in SAP. Here we have enterprise structure, our first chapter or topic, whatever you want to call it. We define the structure, global settings,
financial accounting,
global settings, new. There's something called old or classic. We call it classic. We don't use the classic version anymore. We are using the new version. New has a lot of new enhancements.
Okay.
GL.
General ledger.
These two are very similar. Manual bank statement, electronic bank statement, petty cash journal, PRS bank reconciliation statement, and fixed asset account. This is FI, finance, financial accounting. CO is control. And of course we'll have tax on sales and purchase. Now I cannot take the exact tax on sales and purchase because I'm not sure. It varies from country to country.
What, tax on salaries? Tax on sales, yeah, it's different. Yeah, it's different. Yeah.
Components are different in different countries. I think India is the most complicated one. So what I can show you is how it is done. The configuration will not differ. The basic idea will not be different. How you define the rates, how you define the tax codes, that differs from country to country. The basic principle remains the same. We'll see that. And also how it affects the invoice once they're done. General controller. The basic settings. Then first element, what we call GL and FI is known as cost element in CO. Cost center. Profit center. Internal audits. And some special topics. FI with MM.
Yeah.
FI has a deep relation with MM, materials management, and ST, sales and distribution.
What is FIM?
Integrate. Yeah.
So what's the FIMM integration? That it comes under CO or FI?
No, it's a separate topic. It's a separate topic. It doesn't come under FI, it doesn't come under CO. So FIMM is nothing but the integration between finance module and materials management module. Materials management relates to procurement or purchases. Okay. Now there is a cycle. FIMM is a cycle which starts from MM and finishes at FI. I'll give you a brief. Just starts with indent. Indent is an internal document which the purchase team readies, saying that these is our requirement. For example, I'm a what? I manufacture air conditioners. So, what is my day-to-day production requirement? Is what I'm going to give to the procurement team, to the purchase team. Now, these raw materials, who are the people who are going to supply me the raw material? So I'm going to find out the vendors who can supply me these raw materials in the market. Who are the vendors available in the market? Then I'll find out, for example, there are about 10 vendors who are available. Request for quotation. I'm going to ask all the 10 of them to send a quotation. Then I'm going to select maybe 4 vendors out of 10. Selection of vendors depends on a lot of factors. Price is one of the criteria. Proximity, how quickly they can deliver, what discounts can they offer. A lot of factors. Then a purchase order is being raised. PO.
Purchase order. Yeah.
Yes. And sometimes in large organizations we have something called release PO. If the amount is of a very high value, then the senior person approves it and releases the purchase order. Then comes the FI. All this is done by the materials management team. Now comes goods receipt. From here starts the FI person's job. Goods receipt, the entry would be goods receipt or stock or inventory debit. Credit has been given to GRIR account. We call this as goods receipt. When the goods enter the factory, the entry would be debit inventory or stock, credit, goods receipt, invoice receipt account. Invoice receipt. Now the factory or the purchase department has the authorization only to receive the goods. They are not authorized to make the payment to vendor. Vendor payment is done by the finance department. So the factory, what they do is they pass on all the bills, vouchers, invoices, everything to the finance department. That is what is the invoice receipt. The entry here would be goods receipt, invoice receipt account debit to the vendor.
Vendor credit.
And finally, vendor payment. Vendor payment as usual. Vendor account debit to bank to discount allowed if any. So this entire process involves from here till here materials management module. From here till here FI module. So these two modules needs to be synced. They have to be synced. Only then the process will get completed. Similarly, FI-SD integration. It's a reverse of FIMM. In SD it is sales. So again, FI and sales and distribution module needs to be integrated. So this we'll see at the end when we are done with FICO. That's everything. So yes, so this is our course structure. Let's begin with enterprise structure.
Yeah. Can we go back to the last one, the FMM and FIMM and can you just if you go through that again once more, because just I need to get
you want to make a note of it?
No, so that's the FIMM is integration of middle management.
Yes.
So that's more about the
is a module which relates to procurement, purchasing.
Yeah.
It starts with
then indent.
Indent is an internal document prepared by the organization about the requirements of the production. For example, I'm manufacturing air conditioners. I would need a lot of raw materials. For example, copper tubes. Copper is a material used in air conditioners a lot. So I would require copper tubes of, let's say, so much of length. The width should be this much. The volume should be something. So that's my requirement. I will prepare an indent. Indent is a document relating to the requirements of the product. Vendor. Vendors is nothing but identifying the vendors who can supply me with this raw material. Then once I have identified that there are so many vendors, I'm going to contact every one of them and ask them to give a quotation. RFQ means request for quotation. So these vendors are going to give me a quotation. Based on these quotations, I'm going to select the vendors. What is their price? What terms of agreement we have? How far they are? How close they are? How soon can we receive the goods? So there are a lot of factors which go in deciding how many vendors to select.
Selecting the vendor. Yeah.
And then we'll raise a PO. Once we have selected the vendors, we're going to raise a purchase order. Purchase order is an official document going to the vendor saying that I officially need this many quantity of raw materials at this agreed price. The delivery date should be such and such. It should arrive at my factory number 1. That's the official document going from the purchase department to the vendor. Release PO in some organizations you have when the amount is of a substantially higher amount. If it is a very high value amount, then the senior person does an approval. Goods receipt is nothing but the goods coming inside the factory. The purchase person receives the goods which has been sent by the vendor.
Yeah.
Here the entry we have is inventory or stock, whatever. Debit. To goods receipt. Goods receipt, invoice receipt account. We call this DRIR. Once goods receipt happens, invoice receipt. All the invoices, bills and vouchers are passed on to the finance department.
The finance.
The GRIR is reversed.
Will be debited.
Vendor.
Be credited, yes.
And as usual, finally, vendor payment.
Yeah.
You know this.
Okay, that's fine. And
usually there is a discount also. Discount received. So this is the job of a finance person.
yeah.
The MM does not know anything about journal entries, anything about finance.
Anything about
Job is
GL.
from 1 to 6.
To research, to get also all the raw materials and stuff. Right. That's fine, good. Thank you.
So, no problem. So, these two modules have to be integrated. These two modules have
the
to be
FIMM and the
connected to each other. Only then this flow will be complete. Right? Now,
yes.
same way with FIN, SD. SD relates to sales and distribution. There, instead of purchase, there will be sales. Okay. Anything else?
No, thank you.
Enterprise structure. We're going to define the structure of a company for which company is going to be implemented. Alright. Before we go to enterprise structure, let me finish this here. Before going to enterprise structure, ASAP methodology. Are you making a note of things? If yes, please let me know. I'll pace my speech accordingly.
No, I'm just trying, yeah. Yeah. Not all, but just, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Like this one, I want to write a note. I don't know what that means.
Okay.
SAP methodology.
SAP refers to accelerated SAP. A stands for accelerated. SAP stands for SAP,
Okay.
System Application Product and Database.
Oh, yeah. Okay, accelerated,
So,
yeah. Okay.
what is ASAP methodology? It's a five-step
Mm.
process
Mm-hmm.
prescribed by SAP. Prescribed by SAP for successful
Mm-hmm.
implementation.
Okay.
Okay. Now, what is this implementation? Let's before going say
Mm-hmm.
this is the company XYZ. The same example, AC manufacturer. They manufacture air conditioners and they're working on Sage for about 10-15 years.
Mm-hmm.
And today they want to migrate to SAP. Someone has
Mm-hmm.
told them SAP is the best ERP available. The management decides to migrate to SAP.
Mm-hmm.
Fine. Now, assuming you are the CEO, you are the managing director of XYZ. How are you going
Mm-hmm.
to? What would be your next step?
First, contact SAP consultants.
Right, right. So you're basically going to find out the people who are going to help you in removing Sage and
Yes.
implementing SAP. These people
Yeah.
are called consulting firms.
Mm.
Okay. The consulting firms can be SAP itself
Mm.
or companies like IBM, Accenture, PricewaterhouseCoopers, Deloitte, Ernst& Young, uh, Infosys, Cognizant Technologies, Capgemini. There are hundreds and thousands of IT companies.
Companies. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So obviously, whoever is going to give you the least quotation, you're going to give the contract to them.
Mm.
Let's say, for example, IBM. IBM has given the least quotation for the implementation, and XYZ awards the contract to IBM. IBM will come to
Mm-hmm.
XYZ and install SAP afresh and remove Sage. But this person XYZ
Mm-hmm.
is the end user that we spoke about.
Mm-hmm.
This person is the end user, and this person is the consultant or the consulting firm.
Mm-hmm.
Consultants coming from IBM will understand the requirements of XYZ and
Yeah.
install SAP for them.
Mm-hmm.
So SAP has prescribed 5 steps so
Mm-hmm.
that the implementation is smooth and successful. SAP
Mm-hmm.
implementation is not very it's not an easy task. It's very complicated stuff.
Yeah.
Uh, so one, project preparation. 2, business blueprint. Which is actually divided into 2 phases.
Mm-hmm.
2, third phase, realization. Fine. Go live in. And it has to be followed in this order. It cannot be that I can start with realization, then I move to final preparation. Then I go to step one all of a sudden. It doesn't work like that. It has to be done in a chronological order. So now you would be knowing that SAP is divided into a lot of modules. It's basically divided into two modules. Functional module, technical module.
And production, yeah.
So
quality assurance.
We are the functional people. FI, CO, materials management, sales and distribution, production planning, logistics, payroll, uh, tax, warehouse management. All these are functional modules. There are more than 80 functional modules. And basically two technical modules. ABAP, basis. The ABAP guy is the person who supports the functional consultant. Say for example, there's a standard report. A standard report which says that column 1 would be serial number, date, customer, name, quantity sold, rate, total. Something like this. There's a standard SAP report available. Now the client would ask that, he needs an additional column inserted for, I don't know, say, he needs some additional information that, tax for each customer. But this is not available in the standard SAP report. We have only these columns in the standard SAP report. He wants tax to be inserted in. So I'm going to go to the ABAP guy, the ABAPer. I'm going to tell him, please insert such a column. So he's going to write some new program, some new codes, insert new lines, and he'll ensure that this tax column is inserted in the new report. Such kinds of reports, kinds of customized reports are generally called as Z report. Y report, also called Y report. It's actually the most commonly used. Means the transaction will start from Z. Transaction code will begin with Z.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the job of an ABAPer. Not just this. There are a lot of the functions, scripting, writing new programs. Basis guy, on the other hand, is a security guy basically. He issues login ID passwords to the consultant, to the end user. What transactions should the end user use? He's the person who authorizes. If you want to use F-43, he has to authorize it. He creates new user roles. He maintains his server, very important, both physically and through the system. Sees to it that no unauthorized person accesses any unauthorized things which he's not supposed to access. So he keeps a watch on the entire system. He takes backup from time to time. Cleans up the servers. That's his job. So for this, you need to have some knowledge of operating systems, um, firewall, proxies, networking, all these things. So these people are the functional, technical consultants. So the purpose of touching this topic is when XYZ expresses the desire to have SAP implemented in its system, IBM cannot come up with a full team of consultants to XYZ without knowing anything. What if XYZ does not require HR module?
Well, the HR model, so that SAP, it has two models, yeah? AP, and
I'm so sorry.
That's part because there are how many models in SAP? There are two models, yeah?
Yes.
So that's HR is one of the functionality.
Yes, HR is one of the functional modules. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
So what if XYZ says, I do not require HR. I'm a small organization. I can manage my HR functions in a simple Excel itself. So without knowing what modules needs to be implemented, there's no point in taking all the consultants to the client's place. This person
Yeah, first you have to go and see the client's need. What he requires.
So in project
then you
preparation,
can.
this is what happens. Just the 3 or 4 senior people go. The 3 or 4 senior people of the organization, the general manager, delivery head, the functional head, goes to the client's place. He understands the requirement of the client, uh, how many branches are there, what is their area of operations, how many employees are there, what is their turnover. Depending on these information, the consulting firm, they can take a call as to how many module needs to be implemented. Once you know how many module needs to be implemented, you can decide the team size. In FI, I require 10 consultants. SD, about 8 consultants. About 8 consultants. So you decide the team size, the team leaders, who is the manager who is responsible for the overall delivery of the project. A certain time frame is given. Uh, within 8 months or 9 months, the implementation would be done. Implementation is a huge process. Even for, I'm saying this on an average for a very small concern, a very small organization which has just one factory, one plant. Even for these organizations, the implementation would go to about 6 to 7 months easily.
Implementation of SAP,
you can say. So this ASAP methodology to complete, it will take about 6 to 8 months. So just imagine for organizations like Ford, companies of that magnitude, it takes years easily.
Okay.
So implementation depends on the client size. So all these time frame is decided, then the contract is signed between the client, the consulting firm, and then the second phase starts. These people come back, and the team which has been decided during project preparation, this team will now go to the client's place. As is. Now, as is, can you give me just 2 minutes, please?
Yeah, no worries.
I'm so sorry.
No, no problem.
Right. So when the consultants arrive at the client's place, they go to the individual departments. The FI guy goes to the finance department. Consultant goes to the purchase department. Sales and distribution consultant goes to the uh, Sales department. PP, production planning, is a module. This guy goes to the production factory. Okay. So we'll stick with finance now. The point is, each and every consultant will go to their respective departments. Now, why? Why do they go to their department? Why does the finance guy goes to the finance department of the company? Any idea?
To know what the requirements in the finance
Right.
department.
There is a certain process being followed in every organization. You will go to the finance end user, and the consultant will speak to the finance end user, ask him, boss, what are you doing in GL? What activities have been done in accounts payable? What are you doing as relating to taxation? How is asset management being followed here? That is what is called as is. As is nothing but as the way it is. Recording the as the way it is. As is means as the way it is. Existing process. Documentation of the existing process is called as is.
Documentation of the existing process.
Understanding the existing process. Recording the existing process. Existing business process. Okay. To be. What can be to be? What is a to be document?
I don't know. Never heard what.
All right. Now we know what is as is. The consultant knows what the existing process is. To be means how this existing process is going to be put in SAP. Incorporation of
the existing
process in SAP. That's what is to be documented. So once your blueprint is ready, this is the most critical phase in SAP methodology. If this step is a failure, consultant might as well pack the bags and go back. The process, the entire process is going to be put in SAP. Understanding of every minute detail is important. Once your blueprint is ready, then we'll be given our login ID, passwords, and the consultant will start the configurations. He knows the requirements of the end user. He now has the blueprint. So we will start configuration, GL configurations, AR configurations, AP configurations. Once all the configurations have been done, all the customizations are finished, final preparation, testing, all kinds of advanced test is being done. Unit test, regression testing, integration testing. Integration refers to cross-module like FIMM and FISD, if these processes are working properly. Load balancing test. Load balancing is done by the basis guy. If the server is able to handle, what kind of load is the server able to handle? What is the backup plan?
Which one?
Load balancing. Load balancing test refers to, what is the load, what is the amount of data that the server can handle at any given point in time? What's the maximum stretch? So there are about 11 to 13 tests which has been done. And finally UAT, user acceptance testing. UAT refers to training the end user. The end user is being trained on all the processes. He's also given the documentation with screenshots. And
so UAT refers to what?
User acceptance.
Okay. Thanks, right?
Okay. And
Then go
finally,
live.
cutover
Go
activities are
live.
also, yeah. Before go live, cutover activities are done in final preparation stage itself.
Cut off.
XYZ was using Sage, I said, for almost 10 years. We need the data for all those 10 years. It's not that I'm going to discard the data of 10 years. We need those data. We need those data. So the data is to be transferred from the old, we call it legacy system. Old ERP is called legacy. So the data from the legacy is transferred to SAP.
Okay.
That is called cutover activities. Once all the data has been entered in SAP, go live. Go live is the date when the user actually starts working in
SAP.
SAP. And support is nothing else. A continuous support which is being lent to the end user. She agreed that he has been given all the knowledge transfer, all the documentations, everything has been talked to him. But he will have his own doubts, he will get errors, you know. So there'll be a separate support team to help the end user out. So in case if he gets any doubts, he'll go to the support team, tell them I'm getting such an error, and they will resolve it. Now, this is the complete process of implementation, SAP methodology. Right?
Yeah.
Any queries, any questions?
No.
Enterprise structure. Let's log into SAP first. This is the log on pad. Do you have access to the system?
I think they send me, but I don't know.
Okay. All right.
I've been struggling to be online and now.
No worries. Okay. So when you log into SAP screen, this is the screen that you are directed to. It's called the Easy Access screen. I hope you would be aware of Easy Access screen. All the business transactions are done in Easy Access screen. All the business transactions. You click on accounting, open financial accounting, open whatever submodule you want to, and you get your, for example, F-43, general transaction, enjoy transaction, whatever. So all the business transactions are being done only in the SAP Easy Access screen. So business transaction solved. Now where is this configurations or customization done? It is done in a screen called IMG. All the configurations or customizations are done in a screen called IMG. IMG refers to Implementation Guide. Implementation Guide. Now how to go to IMG screen? Now as you would be knowing, in SAP everything is governed by transaction codes. or T codes.
Yeah, but not.
Right. If each and every activity has a separate T code, a separate transaction code, which cannot be replicated for
Yeah.
any other activity. Okay. If you go to IMG stream, the transaction code is SPRO.
SPRO.
Yes. SPRO, transaction code to go to IMG stream.
So IMG stream. Yeah.
Yes. Just a small information, SPRO stands for SAP Project
Project.
Reference Object. SAP Project Reference Object.
Reference object.
Okay. Please enter SPRO in the transaction code bar. This is the key code bar. And enter this green, small, round green tick mark, or enter on your keyboard, whichever is comfortable. And now please click on SAP Reference IMG.
What do you want to do?
Please click on this one, SAP Reference IMG.
This one?
I'll click it. I'm just saying the procedure.
Yeah. Okay, SAP.
SAP Reference IMG, this one, this F5. F5 is the shortcut key. Okay. And this will take us to the IMG stream where all the configurations are done. All the modules are available here. Our work is only here. Financial accounting, controlling. Okay.
Wow.
We have logistics, project systems, production planning, PM, plant maintenance, quality, payroll, GTS, global risk and compliance, whatever. You have
Ram, what's the difference between, sorry to interrupt you, what's the difference between MEM, MEM?
Where is it?
No, it's not here because some people, they work in SAP but not ERP, they work in MEM. What does it mean? What does it stand for, MEM?
I'm not sure. Is it relating to SAP?
I'm sure it's, yeah, it's not ERP. What's the other one? I'm sure it's MEM or M something. I'm sure you come across that.
MEM is this one?
I think it's MEM. I think so, yeah.
Or is it MDM?
Maybe, yeah. There is M something, yeah. It could be MDM, I don't know.
MDM
What does stand?
Master Data Management.
Yeah, maybe it's the one.
You have lots of master data, you know, XD01, for example, customer master data, FS00, GL master data, then you have XK01, vendor master data,
XK03, yeah.
asset master data. I mean, one refers to new creation, two would refer to, you know, if you put XK02, you can edit the master data. If you put XK03, you can only view, display. You can't make any changes to the master data.
Okay, what's the F? What's this F0?
FS00 is GL master data, general data, general ledger master data. It contains a list of all ledger accounts. So MDM, I'm not sure what MEM is. I'm not sure. I've heard of MDM. MDM refers to master data management. All these are master data. This is GL master data. This is customer. K refers to vendor master data. This is asset master data. So management of all the master data. We'll see what master data are.
Okay.
So has to be MDM. Please let me know if it is MEM. I'll find out.
I don't know. Oh my gosh, no. Don't worry. No, because I remember M something. I'm sure that should be the one. Yeah, MDM. Yeah. It's fine, sorry to interrupt.
No problem. All right. So that is IMG stream where we do all the configurations. This is the exit button. Green button takes you one screen back. This is the cancel button to cancel the transaction. I'm sure you would be knowing this. What is this for? This creates a new window, creates new session.
Yeah, open a new session.
Yeah, you can have 6 sessions with one username.
Yeah, maximum 6 sessions, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm a user, I know.
Right.
Can open only maximum 6. After you start, it won't let you do anything. Okay, what's wrong? Then you know that you have the maximum sessions.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
So, SPRO, enter, click on SAP reference IMG, and let us start with our first topic, first chapter, whatever you want to call it, enterprise structure. We're going to define the structure of a company for whom implementation is going to be done. Okay. If you click on this small black arrow, it'll open the tree.
Oh yeah.
Now, enterprise structure, we'll divide it into 2. First part would be enterprise structure. Divided into 2, definition and assignment. Let's start with the first one, definition. Under definition, there are some activities. Under assignment, there are some activities. Enterprise structure, please open definition.
Definition, yeah.
Financial accounting. First activity, define company. Transaction code for define company, OX15.
What's the transaction code?
OX15.
OX15. That's the transaction code.
Define company. So you can come to define company using SPRO, IMG, enterprise structure, definition, financial accounting, define company. Or you can just punch in OX15 here and something. Yes. Or transaction code is a quicker way. No one actually, to be honest, no one uses the path in real time.
Yeah.
But it's important to know the path at the start, at the initial stages.
Yes, until you get here.
Right. There's a small clock button. If you click on that, it'll execute the transaction. Before we go into this, company refers to the group head. Or the parent company. Say, for example, what company? Wipro. Wipro is the group head or the parent company or the holding company in our accounting. In SAP, we call this company. Defined company. Now, Wipro can have lots of subsidiary companies. Wipro IT, Wipro retail. Okay. Now these are
So the
subsidiary companies.
definition of a company code, that's how you base you define how you define the company code?
No, company code is different. That's where I'm coming. The
Oh
the
yeah, okay, sorry. Mm-hmm.
the group head or the holding company. In accounting language, we call it the holding company.
Mm-hmm,
This is the
mm-hmm.
holding company. This is the subsidiary company. Holding.
Mm-hmm.
Subsidiary. The holding company is called company in SAP.
Mm-hmm.
SAP terminology, accounting terminology. Company. Alright. The subsidiary companies are called the company codes. So Wipro IT is one company code. Wipro Manufacturing is another company code. Wipro Retail is it can be our third company code. Okay?
Okay.
Company code is what we will be creating in a short while.
Okay.
Company code is the most important element in creation of
Okay.
in FI. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Company. So what we did was we clicked on this execute button, this clock button.
Define company, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Please click on new entries. This one.
Mm-hmm.
Say what company shall we put? Mm, okay.
So what you have to choose there is
No, it's
Wipro,
what we
the
give.
company.
It's what we give.
Mm-hmm.
So the name can be up to 6 characters. Alphabets, numbers, alphanumerics, it's left up to us.
Mm-hmm.
Press details. Um, where are you from, you said? Denmark.
Yeah.
Now you'll find a small button against this field. Now all these are
Country, yeah.
fields.
Yeah,
Whenever you
city and
find
then
a
country.
small button, it's a help button.
Mm.
If you click,
Drop
it'll,
in, yeah.
yes, it'll throw the list of countries that SAP supports.
Countries. Mm-hmm.
Uh, DK.
Yeah. Okay.
Language, English, EN.
Yeah, yeah.
Currency. Uh,
DKK.
what is your currency?
Danish krona. DKK. DKK.
Yeah, DKK, this one.
Yes.
And save.
Mm-hmm. Postal code. You forgot the postal code. It's wrong. You can put 2100 because the maximum is 4 digits.
Okay.
Postal code here. Yeah, you can put that. Would be fine.
Okay. Now I'm going to create a new request. Whenever a customizing activity is done, customizing activity or a configuration activity is one,
Mm.
which you do in the IMG screen. Basically
Mm-hmm.
configuration or customization. Whenever you do
Mm.
configuration or customization activity, this window will pop up. Now there are two reasons for this window. It will have a unique number which cannot be manipulated. This number is generated on a random basis. What is the purpose of this number? Now, typically in any SAP environment, you will have three servers. Three servers will be available. One will be the development server. The next will be the quality.
Quality
Call it
assurance.
quality assurance system or simply quality. The third would be
And that's the
PA,
production.
production server. Yeah. So the first two servers, development and quality, all the configurations are done by the consultant and testings are done. Training is given to the user. Production is the actual live server where the user does all his activity. All the financials are impacted. Okay. Now, to move data from one server to another server, this number is used. Okay. It's called transporting data. Now, all the customization that you do in development has to be done again in quality, has to be done again in production. Now, it is not physically possible, manually possible to do it all over again. What the basis consultant will do is, as a functional consultant, you have to make note of this number, request number, and give these numbers to him. He will copy all the data from one server to another server. Everything will appear there. That is one reason. The second reason is...
So where do you use this number?
Sorry?
Where are you going to use this number? You copy it and where do you use it?
You can maintain it in your own Excel. You can have your own Excel. You can make a note of it in your notebook, wherever you want.
So do you need to use the number to do something afterwards, or just to be just the request number to be saved?
This request number is used to transport data. This number you maintain it, you can write it down separately anywhere. Or this can also be tracked. This number you can go to, there's a separate transaction code which I will show it to you in a little while. SE10 is the transaction code, wherein you can see what activity has been done by which user using this transaction, using this request number. I'm going to create a new request. This number will change from 713900713. It will change to some other number now. I'll create a new request, give a short description. Save. 913 will now change to 725 something. I didn't do anything. It's a randomly generated number. And now click on continue. And the data will be saved. Now there is a transaction code called SE10. If you go to SE10, this is a basic transaction code, nothing relating to finance. Now give the username and you can trace all the activities done by this user, online FI09. Display. This is the latest activity which we have done. Okay, 725. We open this, it will show it is a customizing activity. And what is it? We have defined a company. Till the table name it will go. And the client, 8. Right. Data saved. Okay, data already saved. Please come back. Back to the IMG stream. Second activity. Edit, copy, delete, check, company code. Edit, copy, delete, check, company code. Transaction code OX02. Okay.
What the transaction code?
OX02.
Okay, OX02.
Now we're going to create a company code, the most important element in FI. Company code are these subsidiary companies. A company code is a separate legal entity for which financial statements are prepared. As per SAP, the definition of company code as per SAP, a company code is an organizational unit for which financial statements like P&L and balance sheet are prepared for external reporting. Now let's break this down. Right? Organizational unit for which financial statements are prepared. Financial statement refers to P&L, balance sheet. Okay. Are prepared for external reporting. External reporting means reporting to the external people. Now, who are these external people? They can be
external staff, stakeholders,
shareholders, stakeholders, banks,
financial
auditors,
institutions.
government authorities, tax authorities. Basically, all those people who are interested to know the financial health of your organization. Okay. Also, new investors. Say, for example, let's understand in the small example. I'm running a company. I'm running Wipro Manufacturing. I come to you and I ask you, please invest about $500 million. Would you do that?
Hello?
Why?
Hello?
Why? You're my best friend, wouldn't you?
Pardon?
You're my best friend. Wouldn't you do it?
No.
No? All right. My point is, unless you know the financial health, in what financial condition I am, you will not invest a single pie. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, financial health of an organization is depicted by the financial statements, profit and loss account, balance sheet, cash flow statement, fund flow statement. Okay. So you will study my 5 years balance sheet, 3 years P&L, whatever information you want, you will get from these financial reports, financial statements. The company code helps you in preparation of all these financial statements. Let's go ahead and create a company code. So I'm going to create a company code, say with Pro Manufacturing. Execute. And a new window will open. It'll ask, what do you want to do? Do you want to copy from an existing standard, or do you want to create a new company code? Let's create on edit company code data. Please double click on edit company code data. New entries. Company code. 4 characters. Alphabets, numerals, alphanumerics. Wipro.
Can be a mix of two of alphabet and number,
Yes,
or should be only?
Okay. That's what I'm giving.
W201 is. Company name, Wipro Manufacturing.
City? What city do you reside
in? In Copenhagen. Country DK. Currency DKK. Yen.
Save. Again, the request prompt will come up.
With the title and name.
In real time, we do fill all these things, but I'm only filling the mandatory field as of now. Country. Wherever you find a small tick mark in any field, the field is a mandatory.
You have to fill second.
Yep, country, UK. And region?
01.
Oh, there's only one.
Yes.
Now, actually, the thing is, if you input country, it'll throw the regions of that country.
The regions, yeah, how many regions there? Yeah.
Copy. It'll again throw the same, it'll show the latest request number. We can create a new request number or save under the same one. I'm going to save under the same request because all activities pertaining to enterprise structure, I want to save under one number. All activities relating to accounts payable, I want to save under one number. That's the reason. Or else it will become a huge list. Continue. Don't go to new request. Please click on continue.
Yeah, on continue. Printing.
And the data will be saved. So our company code is WI01.
W201.
WI01. Please come back to the IMG screen.
WI01.
This is very important. We have to remember our company code till the last. Define business area, third activity. Define business area.
Business area.
Business area refers to separate area of operations. This separate area of operations can be, the client has to basically tell you, because it can be divided on the basis of different branches, or it can be divided on the basis of different departments, like production department, finance department, HR department. So the client has to tell us on what basis does he need the business area to be differentiated. Business area transaction code OX03. Okay. New entries. Say
W.
WI. Can you give me any two of your any branches or any street name?
Strand.
Sorry?
Strand. Strand.
ST.
RAN. GADE. Yeah.
You can create as many as you want. Save. Same request number because it is still a part of enterprise structure. Continue. Maintain FM area, financial management area, used for preparation of financial statements, cash flow, fund flow statements. Execute. There's no transaction code for this. New entries. We'll use the same name as that of our company code. The reason being, it's easy to remember. That's the reason. What was it? WI 01. It's not a hard and fast rule that you have to use the same name. Easy to remember, easy to assign. That's the reason. Financial management area for and the currency. Save. Define segment. Segment refers to.
So what does it help? This one defining maintain FMA area.
Yeah, that's what I said. It helps us in creation of financial statements, cash flow, fund flow statement. Segment. Segment basically refers to various business operations. Best example I would give you is, take for example Samsung. Samsung has different business segments in the sense that it is into mobile phones, it is into refrigerators, air conditioners, televisions. Each one of them is a different segment, each area of operation. New entries, we can have like
Is that the transaction code or?
The transaction code for this, there's no transaction code, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll have to come by the path. New entries. Say for example we are into withdraw CFL, June, lights. Then we can have withdraw CFL. Maybe products, something, and save.
Save.
So manufacturing, under manufacturing they manufacture bulbs and tubes. They're in baby products manufacturing. Back to IMG stream, close definition. Assignment. Assignment refers to assigning whatever has been created or defined, assigning it to the company code. Everything has to be attached to the company code. It is the most important organizational unit in SAP. Please close definition and open assignment. IMG, enterprise structure, assignment, financial accounting, assign company code to company. OX 1616.
OX 16. That's assignment.
Yes, assign company code to company. That is, we are going to say Wipro Manufacturing is a subsidiary of the holding company named Wipro. Okay. Assignment is a very straightforward activity. Execute. Our company code will be available here.
W.
If you click on position, position is like a search function. Or else you'll have to drill down like this.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. So you can just click the position and write WI 01
WI01, enter.
01. Green tick. Yeah, will come with our company code. Yeah.
The company name is Wipro. If you know it, you can type
Wipro,
it.
yeah.
Or you can click on this help. Wipro. Okay. Save. Please come back. Second activity.
So by doing this, by assigning company code to company. So what happened now? What we did? We did this transaction. We went to this transaction
let
and
me
we assigned.
make you understand in layman's language. These two are separate entities till the time it is assigned. Assignment is nothing but linking.
Linking the subsidiary companies with the holding company.
Before we did the linking, it's just been created.
Yes.
Wipro is something different. Wipro manufacturing is something different. It's floating. Now, how do I tell SAP that Wipro manufacturing is a subsidiary of Wipro?
Wipro company.
I have to link Wipro and Wipro manufacturing. That is what is assigned.
Assignment.
Linking two entities. So now the system knows Wipro manufacturing is a subsidiary of Wipro, the company. Assign company code to financial management area. Whatever has been created, whatever we defined in SAP has to be linked to the company code, because it is the company code for which we are going to prepare the financial statements. Financial statements are going to be prepared for a company code.
The company code.
Okay. Each one of these company code is independent of each other. The holding company is the one who controls them individually. So Wipro IT prepares its own P&L balance sheet. Wipro manufacturing prepares its own P&L balance sheet. Wipro retail prepares its own P&L and balance sheet. So to prepare all those things, everything that we create in SAP has to be linked with the company code. Now assign company code to FM area, financial management area. There's no transaction code. Execute. It's the same as we did. Position, our company code WI01, and please click on enter. And it'll ask the FM area. The FM area which we created is also WI01.
Yeah.
It's for this precise reason that we give the same name. Easy to assign. Or if you don't remember, you can click on the help here. Copy. FM area form. And save. Save under enterprise structure. Our enterprise structure is over with this. The basic structure of a company. Our next topic, which we would be starting next in our next session, would be global settings. Now, global settings has no. These are our hardcore accounting activities: GL, AR, AP, bank, asset, controlling. These are our actual finance topics. For us to do these topics, we need certain basic settings in the system. That is what is, there are about 8 or 9 settings. For example, which period you can do posting. For example, you are doing F-43, vendor invoice. Okay. You would need to enter the period here. Right? You would need to enter
Is it necessary?
Yes.
But it doesn't ask you. It just I can do just
yes. But if you
write
do not,
the current date and the company code and the currency and just put the reference and
put it there, the system automatically picks up the period. But how does the system pick up that period? Say, for example, okay, what year are you following? What 12 months? Are you following calendar year or financial year?
Financial year.
April to March?
No, June to July. No, July to June.
July to
No,
June.
July to June. Sorry, financial year. Yeah.
Okay.
Follow July to June.
Okay. So July to June. So
So
this
May
would be
is
your 11th
period
period, right?
11.
This
Yeah,
would be your 11th.
period 11.
Right.
Yes.
So how does the system pick up 11 if you do not enter here? That's the point.
Because the system is based on what is based on the configuration put in the system.
That's
If you
because
base it on calendar year, it will be on calendar year. If you base it on financial
that is
year,
because the
then
consultant
it will,
has done the settings in such a way that the system picks up the month of May and the 11th period.
Yeah.
Okay. That is one of the settings.
Yes.
Then you have another setting called, if you can post in this period. Now, can you post in the month of April? When you go back to your work, just try putting here 10. 10 would be April, correct?
Yeah.
Can you post in the month of April? Do you think you
While
can
I'm
post?
in May?
Yes, you're still in May.
What?
You are putting here
Yeah.
current date 26/05. You
No,
should
it
put here
won't let me
11.
post.
You should put
Yes.
here 11.
11,
But
yeah.
you're putting here 10, or you're putting here 12, or you're putting here
No, it
8.
won't let
Can you? Can you?
it, no, I can't. The system won't let me post.
There is a control for that. That's again another setting. That's the
And
feature of
but
SAP.
yeah, but it can be the document date. It can be April. It can be March. But the posting date can be as of today. So it will be
That's the
period
control.
11. It will
That's
be
the
fine.
setting which I'm talking about. Some basic settings without which, and the posting keys. Here you have something called posting keys. Do you know the concept of posting keys, or you just follow a document?
Yeah, not really.
Yeah. So what is the concept of posting? Why 31? Why not something else? There are about 100 posting keys available. Why only the system picks up 31 by default? So what is the 31 refers to credit
Yeah.
the vendor. Okay. Now, can I use F-43 for something else, or is it only restricted
No,
to vendor invoice?
I think it's restricted to vendor invoice.
Okay. Let's see. What is the concept of a document type? So all these settings come here. There are about 8 or 9 settings based on which all the other topics will follow. Okay. So we will start this in our next session.